Hello and welcome to the channel. I recently made a video about the advantages R has over click and drop software packages for data analysis. Uh, Python, another popular programming language, has the same advantages as R over click and drop software packages. The link to that video is given in the description box. But I have made two more videos. In one video, I have shown how you can use ChatGPT to write R codes, which you can then simply copy and paste into an IDE, for example, RStudio, and do your analysis. You can do so in case of Python as well. You can ask ChatGPT to write a code for the task you want to complete and in Python, and then you can simply copy that code and paste it into an IDE of your choice, for example, Jupyter Notebook. And in another video, I have shown how you can use ChatGPT's recently released code interpreter plugin to do analysis with ChatGPT even without having to copy the code generated by ChatGPT and pasting it into an IDE. With that plugin, code interpreter, ChatGPT can do all the analysis for you and give you the output. The question is, by the way, link to those two videos is also given in the description box. Now the question is, if ChatGPT has this capability, is it still necessary to learn R and Python? The short answer is yes, you still do. And there are many reasons for that. The first of those reasons is that ChatGPT is not perfect. It still makes mistakes in the code, and sometimes when you copy the code and paste it into an IDE and try to run that code, you get an error. Similarly, it is quite possible that it makes a mistake while you are using the code interpreter plugin. So you cannot totally rely on ChatGPT. You must know the language. You must have some understanding of these languages to identify the mistakes it makes and correct those mistakes. The second reason is ChatGPT has a knowledge cutoff date. Uh, it it has no knowledge beyond September 2021, and if some new packages have been released after that date, if some new techniques have been found after that date, ChatGPT does not know about that. So its knowledge is not current. It is not up to date with the latest developments. Okay. And then the next reason is limited capacity. Even if you are using code interpreter plugin and your data is too large, and while code interpreter is trying to execute the code, it sometimes encounters an error and is unable to process the data. Okay, so in that case it will not be able to do the analysis for you, and in that case it will be much more suitable if you do that analysis yourself on your computer or on some cloud. Okay, then a ChatGPT and its code interpreter are unable to access internet directly. For some tasks, if you give that task to code interpreter, it will need to download a package, a library, for which it will have to go to internet, but it does not have the capability to go to internet and download those packages required for certain analyses. In that case, it will not be able to help you, but it can tell you which packages you can download. Okay, so some of the analyses for which a code interpreter will need to install a library or package, it will not be able to help you. And then, I mean, it is after all a large language model. It is artificial intelligence. It is not a human brain, and it lacks the creativity of a human brain. I mean, it knows only what it has been fed, but the quality of the human brain is that it can imagine things for which there is no precedent. Sometimes you will encounter a very unique problem which will need a very creative solution, and ChatGPT probably cannot do that. Only you can do that. But if you do not know how to code, then of course you will not be able to do that kind of creative analysis. And then the lack of domain knowledge. It can give you the code, it can not interpret the results for you because it probably does not know about the specific domain you are conducting your analysis in. And the domain knowledge uh, is required to interpret the output of our data analysis process. And what kind of code or what kind of technique you will use will also sometimes depend on the domain in which you are conducting the analysis. But ChatGPT cannot always know that specific context. Only you can. Okay. And finally, the most important reason is that if you are to survive, you will need to stay ahead of AI. If you are become totally dependent on AI, if you are already dependent on AI, AI will probably replace your job. So if you do not want to be replaced by AI, you really need to learn things and stay ahead of AI. So it is not recommended that you become totally dependent on AI. Instead, you should try to stay ahead of it. You should try to learn as much as you can. And with AI becoming increasingly more capable and increasingly more available, you really need to learn a lot more. So, if you want to survive in the AI age, you will need to stay ahead of it. If you are only doing routine tasks, then maybe AI will replace you. Okay. So, in conclusion, the right use of AI tools like ChatGPT is to increase your productivity. It is not recommended that you become dependent on AI. You should only use it to increase your productivity. For example, instead of having to spend quite a few hours in writing a long code, you can ask AI to generate an initial code for you, and then you can fine tune that. In that way, your productivity will increase. That is the only use you should put AI to. If you become too dependent on AI, you will become dumb and you will become less creative And if you become dumb and less creative, then AI will replace you. So the conclusion is yes, you should still learn these languages, not only these languages, but a lot more to survive in the AI age. Thank you.